Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to ECLECTICA. I am Seven. We have Charles and Drew. How you guys doing today?
Great. Very well.
Awesome.
About to explode over here.
Well, we're going to jump right into some Marvel news. And
So, man, this is going to be a big one, guys. So much, I don't even know where to begin. San Diego Comic-Con went down, and there's so much to go over just covering that. I'm telling you, Seven, you think I'm joking around. We need an hour to cover just the madness and the nonsense that was going on this year.
That many bombs today?
Oh. It was a slew. It was the scorched earth method of just inundating the entire area with bomb after bomb. So, starting off with Marvel, let's get the stuff that we can work through quicker out of the way. They had a couple of announcements, some trailers, some good stuff that we can look forward to. Probably one of the most notable was the new trailer for Doctor Strange. For those of you who aren't up to speed on Doctor Strange, one, shame on you. Why are you even watching this show? No, that was a joke. But two, he's basically the inaugural magic character in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Curious thing, because they haven't really worked into the whole magic element. I know with Thor, who's heavily, he's on the whole Norse god thing. If you notice in the films, they've adapted it to where it can be more super science stuff that we can't understand, thus we call it magic, right?
Right.
It seems like they're kind of doing away with that in Doctor Strange, and it's more of there's still the alternate dimension element that they're pushing, but I feel like they're just kind of like, all right, guys, this is magic. This is what you guys have been waiting for, and they're just kind of diving right in. So if you guys see the trailer looks great. The special effects, they are a bit reminiscent of like Inception with the whole mirror thing. It looks great though, don't get me wrong. Like the magic and stuff is still there. It's definitely has like some MC Escher-esque elements in it. And even though you have like all this stuff going on with like, Benedict Cumberbatch and the cast, my favorite part of the trailer comes at the telltale end where he hands a little slip of paper and it says Shambhala, and he's like, what's this? Is this my mantra? And our boy Chiwetel Ejiofor looks at him, he's like, nah, B, that's the Wi-Fi code. We're not savages. And then he walks out. I was like, yo.
Subtle things, man.
Good with Marvel. So they already have my ticket. They got my money. I think it's going to be great. It's another origin story, but I think this is going to be one, as I was, ranting on before, it's going in a different route.
Right.
I think it'll present something that we haven't seen quite yet. And the special effects and the actors look awesome. It just looks good. Forget the casting stuff, worrying about old girl playing the ancient one. She's going to be fine. She's a phenomenal actress. And let's get it, guys. Marvel.
It looked
Marvel's been doing a great job with setting up new characters.
Setting up new characters and adding to their current characters, which is what we'll get into in a moment. But, yeah.
The thing I loved about what I want to love about Doctor Strange, it hasn't been done. You know what I mean? Besides the animated movies. So it's not like, I don't want to say I want to lower my expectations, but it's not like it's been done. It's not rebooted like Spider-Man 50 million times. You know what I mean? And what I'm seeing right now, it looks phenomenal.
Yeah. They did try to make a Doctor Strange movie, I think, years ago, but it was live action, and it was, I think, in like I might be wrong. It might have been in the 70s or the 80s.
Could have been, because they were trying to do those things.
Yeah,
At the same time, like that first Fantastic Four movie came out.
Mm-hmm.
It was awful.
It was god awful. But I think they're going to do it right this time. Totally think they're going to do it right. Moving on in casting news. This is one of several Marvel updates that we got for you guys. It's official. Brie Larson, the actress, she was, a lot of you might know her from Scott Pilgrim versus the World. She was Envy, Scott's ex-girlfriend, who was like in a band. She has officially been cast as Captain Marvel, and while initially I was
Yeah, me too.
Looking at her now that she's a little bit older, I'm like, I can see it. And the tone that I think that they're going to go for would fit her style really well, because she can be serious, but she can also be a goon.
Right.
So, I don't know, I think it's a good one. Marvel tends to know what they're doing when it comes to their casting, so at this point, take me by the hand and guide me, Marvel. I trust you guys.
I
trust you.
They know what they're doing. They got the shoes fitting on the feet real good now, man. You know, they got the kinks out. Yeah, I trust it.
Got the kinks. And when it comes to Captain Marvel, again, they're adding a completely different element to their already like gargantuan film franchise, because this is Captain Marvel is like an old character, old school. Like the newer iteration of her, which was like starting in the 60s, 70s, somewhere around that time. Yeah. She dips more into like the far fringes of like the galaxy and stuff like that. So you got the deep space stuff that you're going at. Kind of like with Guardians of the Galaxy, but a lot more of the Green Lantern-esque elements in it.
Right.
So watching where they go with her is going to be great. They're going out there, man. Marvel is really just kind of leaping forward into broadening their universe. And that, in turn, segues to our next bit of news, which was the Hulk Thor. You're holding up the wrong one, my boy. I know. All right, cool. It was the Hulk and Thor movie. That's what I'm calling it, but it's officially the third Thor movie, Ragnarok, which is coming to us very soon. They had a excellent prop set. I don't know if you guys saw it, but it's the Hulk armor from Planet Hulk. So it's like, you have like the Roman type of thing with the little weird headdress and the axe and the shield and stuff like that. They showed some of the props for that, and it just, again, it reaffirms that they're really just going out there with these next set of films. And I'm easily Thor and Hulk together in a movie. That's already fashioning up to be my favorite one. It's the buddy cop drama element in deep space with Norse gods. Like, balls crazy.
It's just gone flat out, man. They're going flat out. I think right now, it's just they're so good. We're bringing the elements from the comics and some of the anime, bringing everything all together. That's what Marvel seems to be doing, and it's just meshing perfect, man. Perfect.
Yeah,
it's good.
They tend to have a pretty solid idea on what they want to do with their characters and how they want to integrate them into this film franchise, and it just you trust them at this point with that. This goes again with Black Panther, which is coming up soon as well. They're giving us more news on that. I was kind of hoping for like a teaser trailer this year, but I guess that was just wishful thinking on my end. But they did give us a bit of casting news going along with Captain Marvel and Brie Larson. Michael B. Jordan, he's officially, I think we made this official a ways back, but we now know who he's going to be playing in the film. And it's kind of a weird choice, I feel. It's going to be Eric Killmonger.
Okay.
Him and Black Panther, they go back decades.
Yep.
And the weird thing about it is that Killmonger was this 7 foot tall, just brolic, like giant of a guy, right? And then you got Michael B. Jordan, who I like as an actor. He's good. But one, I've never seen him play a villain. And two, I don't think of him as being that imposing.
Now, maybe they might, I mean, if Killmonger's that big, they might do how they did Ruffalo with the Hulk.
With the Hulk, I don't know, maybe. But that's the case. Why not just hire like Michael Jai White or something like that? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we'll see. I don't know. Again, I trust them. I'm not going in on you, Marvel. I trust you. But like, what Eric Killmonger is a guy that in the comics, in the canon of the comics, you guys know that Black Panther has never been able to really take him out in hand-to-hand combat, which is a scary concept when you consider the amount of training and skill that BP has. Mm-hmm. So watching him throw down with Chadwick Boseman, that's going to be an interesting fight. Like cinematically, I'm curious to see how they pull that off. And also added to the casting news is the gorgeous Lupita Nyong'o. We know now she's going to be as well, and that's going to be Nakia, who was what's the phrase that I want to use? She is not banned, but she's an ex-member of the Dora Milaje, who you got a glimpse of them in the last Captain America movie, the dope ball. We were just talking about her. Like, dope, brolic, move or you will be moved. She was one of them. And in the comics, she basically, it's a whole big thing, but the Dora Milaje are basically what they call wives in waiting for Black Panther, right? They're his bodyguards, they're his servants, I guess you could call them. But the idea is that if he physically interacts with them, like romantically, they're considered his next wife. Now in the comics, through some weird circumstance, he ends up kissing her accidentally, and she's like ecstatic because that means that she's officially going to be his wife. It doesn't go down. She goes mad, and she eventually becomes a villain. And so seeing Lupita Nyong'o play a villain, not even just a villain, but like an obsessive, forlorn, romantic-esque villain, that's going to be phenomenal, I think.
That could be.
Really hyped to see what happens with that one.
Oh, yes.
Great for her career, actually.
Yeah,
she's already on it, dude. She's a great actress. She was in Star Wars, so she has that going for her as well. And now she's in Marvel. Yeah. She's not losing. Right. So
I would. Yep, she's winning on that one.
Yep. So let's keep it going. I'm getting on a roll. I know I'm talking too much.
What role
whatever.
is she gonna play?
More casting news. Like I told you guys, man, it's a busy show. Denai, I want to say her name is Gurira. You guys all know her as Michonne. You love her. She's on Walking Dead.
I met her on my birthday. That was cool.
You did? Oh, that's what's up, man. Is she dope in real life?
She's cool.
Nice. So she is also joining the cast of Black Panther, and she's going to be a member of the Dora Milaje as well. And that is just like, you have the fan casting, right? Where you see them, it's just like, you basically just took somebody that looks like this character and added them into this role. She's in that bracket, but it fits so damn well.
I'm like Michonne a lot too. So
it's probably it's probably going to be the easiest casting for her because she basically just has to be Michonne, just bald.
That's it, man.
Easy. So that's going to be good as well.
Wow.
That's exciting.
Wow, people. Get your movie tickets ready. You better start saving up some loot.
I'm telling you guys, we're reaching the apex of these films right now, man. We're hitting a fever pitch, and there's some good stuff in the works. Like, Comic-Con's good for this. It's a place where we go for announcements, you know?
Wow, that's crazy. Excellent.
So, now, what about the other side of the universe?
We still
the other half of the big two, as they say.
Yeah, the other half of the big two.
Let me take a breath. So, several things we got this year, guys, straight from Comic-Con. Let's just start off at the heftiest one. We got our first look at the Justice League. It's going down. Hopefully, Zack Snyder will be able to take off a couple of negative points that he got for Batman v Superman.
Right.
From what we've seen, things look promising.
I'm rooting for this cat. Let me do a quick flyby. Can I buzz the tower, sir?
All right. Go for it, man. Take it, please. I'm tired of hearing my voice.
Great. All right. This is what I'm loving, right? Ben Affleck, I don't care what anyone says, to me, dude, best Batman to me. He plays that role. And what I love about his character, he reminds me of the Frank Miller Batman, especially when he has the suit on. He's that nice, chunky, thick Batman. If anyone, this might be a spoiler alert, but you got to see the trailer, man. He makes an excellent Bruce Wayne when Aquaman jacks him up on the wall and he's just looking him right in his face. Didn't panic, didn't do anything, dude. I'm telling you, it's small things like that that's making me go berserk about this thing. I'm telling you, man. I'm praying for these guys. I'm telling you, DC, you got to bring it this time around, man. You got to bring it.
Bro, when I sat down, I did the thing that I normally do when I'm hyped over a trailer. I sat down, I watched it, then I watched it again, and went frame by frame in my room, in this room, talking to myself as I'm looking at each frame by frame. Like, they're referencing this, they're referencing this. The scene between him and Aquaman was solid. The footage that we have, Seven, I don't know if you can bring up the images that like, what we see of each character, it fits the world. They don't do it in a way. I feel like I wish they would have held back and not shown us anything in Batman vs Superman now when it comes to these characters, because watching Barry Allen go into his room and find Bruce Wayne sitting in there just chilling, just like, how's it going, Barry? Their banter was dope. Like, he was like, say no more. I'm a part of you. I'm down. I'm going to go, why? That was easy, because I have no friends. I'm just like, it was great. And this is coming from someone who is skeptical about Ezra Miller. I don't know. We were talking about this before the show.
Wow.
I don't know if it's apprehension because I'm so used to Grant Gustin at this point as being the Flash. I don't know if it's just because I'm irritated because all the teen boppers all of a sudden are Flash fans. Oh my God, he's so cute. This is going to be great. I don't know if it's that, but they're back and forth if nothing else was there. When he throws the batarang at him, he just stops. He looks. He sees it coming from a mile away. I like that they get that little POV shot of him just looking at it, and then he catches it, and he's just like, can I keep this?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, that was nice.
that was a great scene. Wonder Woman was awesome in that trailer. We'll have more on her in a moment. She finally has a purpose and isn't just there, which is awesome.
Their scene was even cool. When they were talking about Aquaman, was he in? Well,
Yeah. So he's like, is he going to team up with us? He's like, more or less, more or more or less. He said no. Yeah, he said no. And then probably like who arguably stole the show was Jason Momoa as Aquaman. You only see him in a few shots.
Yeah.
And like we were saying, he's not doing anything real superhero-y. You see him slamming Bruce up against the wall, mean mugging him, and walking out onto a pier drinking a bottle of what looks like vodka. And I'm just like, yo, this dude's grimy. He looks unkempt. Like he just doesn't give a
that
shit.
was like the Aquaman they had in that animated film when he was on land and he was drinking and all that stuff. And he beat all them dudes up coming out of the bar.
Yeah.
Even when he was just standing, it looked like he was standing on a rock and all that water came up around him.
They're referencing, I think with this iteration of Aquaman for the films, they're dipping a lot into Jeff Johns' run from the New 52, which was arguably the greatest run that Aquaman's ever had, and the Aquaman from the 90s when he had the long grunge hair, he lost his arm and he had the hook. Like, I think they're going to have a lot of that in there. Keep an eye out for that, because if he loses his arm at some point, his hand, straight up nod to the 90s. Straight up. Yeah.
Do you guys think that they're taking a lot of notes from the animation because they're so solid and fans really like it a lot?
I think so.
In parts. And mind you, though, the animated films take notes from the comic runs. Yeah. So really, it's referencing the source material, but I think they're dipping into the better aspects of Aquaman's lore and his impact on the DC universe.
You know, I think now from producers and mostly like the directors getting flack from fans, when they try to come in and just change everything up, I think they're tired of getting the flack and they're starting to, all right, let's just stick with what we have. Stuff's already written. Comics, let's just use that. Yeah, because I think the days of coming in and directors coming in and say, oh, well, I want to change. No, man, what the frick? You're going to mess yourself up.
Yeah. Better late than never, I guess. I mean, the casting thus far, I got to say, is pretty solid. Like, Gal Gadot's growing on me. Ezra Miller, I'm kind of Ben Affleck, I love. And the new guy that's playing Cyborg, you see his parts in there?
Yeah.
It looked good. Like, I was really worried that they were just going to make him just, the token cybernetic black dude who's just there to make the one-liners and be like, oh, damn, that's whack. But they didn't do that. And it shows a promise. I'll put it that way, because I know there's all that stuff. DC or Warner Brothers, they won Comic-Con this year. They showed promise.
Yeah.
We were saying the same thing last year when they showed the footage for Batman vs. Superman, and what happened?
I was so
People were upset. So I'm not going to say they won, but I say they do show things that have promise.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. So that also pertains to Wonder Woman, because we saw the trailer for that too this year. It looks good.
It does.
I know you had an issue with the trailer.
Yeah, I was not a big fan of the Wonder Woman movie. I mean, I always saw Wonder Woman. I hope no one takes this the wrong way as a supporting character. I couldn't understand how she was going to be able to carry a whole film. That goes with Catwoman, you know what I mean? Some of the
god awful Halle Berry.
Yeah, man, it was just bloody awful, man, just bloody awful. So after seeing the trailer to Wonder Woman, that showed, like you said, that showed a lot of promise. It looked good. I was impressed.
It looked good.
It looked good. It looked good.
There was one part though,
and she looks good. She's not overly big, but she fits the role good. I give her credit for that, because I was like, how's she gonna play Wonder Woman?
Yeah. I don't know. She's maybe she's hitting P90X now, but she looks good. Maybe her look is just growing on me. There was though, to just adding my own little critique to it. There's one line in the trailer where she's talking to Chris Pine, who's playing the role of Steve Trevor. Mm-hmm. He's like, so they're talking about the Amazons and how they're all women and stuff. He's like, so you've never seen them before, but it's what about your parents? How are you born? Oh, well, I wasn't born the regular way. I was a product of Zeus. She gives some weird, and I'm sitting there watching the trailer. I'm just like, hun, all that means is that Zeus smashed your mom. Where's the confusion there? I don't know. That was it bugged me. That comes up though in the Justice League animated series though too, where she comes up to Ares and they're talking about like her whole origin. He's like, you didn't, you're not my dad. Da-da-da-da. Like, I was born through clay, and my mom breathed life into me. And Ares just looks at her, and he's just like, sure you were. Okay, sweet. Pat. Oh, okay, you believe that if you want to. So that was the one thing that just kind of had me just snicker a little bit. But overall, I think it'll be good. The visuals were great. Gal Gadot's really grown on me. She looks fine before, but I think this is going to be, again, they're giving her a purpose with this next one. She's not just showing up just to be there so they can have her little theme song. So it'll be dope. I'm looking forward to it.
I'm not a big fan of the song, though, man. That's the only thing. I'm not a big fan of that song. Maybe you can help him out on that one, Seven. You might help with the song.
Kick it on, dude.
A little annoying, man.
What do you think of Cyborg's suit, I guess you could say? His look. You guys thumbs up? Because I know before you talked about Flash's suit. I know we talked about Wonder Woman for a while. Looks like she's Xena. The whole Xena thing.
Which is what they're going to go for, yeah. There's going to be nods to that. Well, I mean, go ahead, Charles.
Now, I got to go take another look at Cyborg. It looked okay. It didn't look bad. It looked pretty good. Yeah, he didn't look bad.
You don't see much of him. And mind you, the scenes that we do see of him, they're in dark places.
Yeah.
So I'm sure we're going to get like a better look at him in, subsequent trailers. You see a before of him where he's walking with his I call it the jock jacket, whatever they call those things.
Right.
You see him normal, and then you see him in his cyborg form. Like, it looks good. Yeah. They didn't just give him like just a half-ass treatment of now he's a normal guy, now he's going to look like just a robot or full CG. So it should be good. I like the little back and forth between him and Batman where he's just like, I didn't think that you were even real. This is him talking to Batman, and Batman's just like, I'm real when I need to be, man. I'm just like, more Ben Affleck, more Batman. That's what I want. The Justice League movie, I'm probably more hyped about that than anything else this year, just because I know there's going to be Batman at the fore, which is great.
One critique that I'm thinking now, and I hope they don't do it. It looks like they are, but I hope they don't. I hope they don't make the movie too dark. You know what I mean? As far as the lighting aspect, I don't want it to be too dark and too grimy. You got, not too dark. So it
would be a nice change of pace if the big apex fight that comes in the third act of Justice League takes place during the daytime.
Yeah.
So you've seen plenty of fights where the Justice League band together and it's like high noon and stuff. And you've also had fights where it takes place at night, but I think this time around you're going to have to see them like all together. And then it can't look like you just said dark and dingy
all the time
and grimy. I'm sick of that whole thing. So I do hope that they do switch that up a little bit. The scenes that we did see, they looked like they were underground
and like a sewer type setting.
Sewers. And I'm like, that can't be the whole movie.
Hope not.
Yeah.
It's very interesting too. With the TV version of Flash, a lot of times when he's moving around, there's this yellow streak of lighting, but they're going with blue. You think it was just to be different from the TV version, or?
Well, in the show, he's more or less like a red blur with like lightning around it.
Right.
Or like, it was like but in this one, we were talking about this before the show as well. Like what they're doing with the trailer is that you see Ezra Miller's Flash in one spot, and then he's suddenly in another. I like that effect because to the human eye, he's just zipping around and you see the lightning. So I think that's a really cool effect. If they add a little bit of red into it, like a tinge, that could be pretty sweet. But we'll see, because I think that the blur would get old in a film after a while. You see him kind of looking like he's running around and fast forward.
Actually, that would make more sense that he would be called the Flash. Then the Blur, right?
The Blur, yeah.
Yeah, that makes more sense.
It looks like he's jump cutting, but you can still see like him. So he's literally moving around in a flash. In the blink of an eye, he's gone. So that'd be cool.
Yeah, that was one of the gripes I had. 'Cause I had the speed character when I wrote one, and I was like, you just can't have him moving around a million miles an hour all the time. You know what I mean? So
they've had to fix that in some of the comics, like in Kingdom Come, for example. Every shot that you see of the Flash, just about, it's him just getting there. So you see little speed lines around him. And I'm like, dude, I know who he is. You don't have to reiterate over and over again that he's moving really fast. I know he can do that. Relax. Calm down. I get it.
About that. Excellent book, too, Kingdom Come.
It's one of my very first graphic novel I ever bought.
It's good.
Still read it to this day. Excellent. excellent run.
So we're ready for Wonder Woman. We're ready for it.
We're ready. Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
Ready.
Ready.